Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
Well, I think, Big Bro, what it goes back to is what you was saying earlier, James. It's always that hope. Because, see, as long as you got that hope, you already know ain't shit shaking in the hood. You know what I mean? So you would rather almost be on the road because you get to go to some places and shit like that. But you would think, man, with all the bread Betty was getting, what was they per diem like on the road? I'm pretty sure their per diem was like $1,500 a day or some shit like that, wasn't it?
Oh, no. You know what? I honestly don't know. Because, like, I didn't ride the bus with them niggas. And, like, my pay scale wasn't like everybody else's because I made most of my money for writing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we would do the tours or whatever, and I make the little money on the tours or whatever. But in the studio, Birdman is relentless. Like, at the time when I was there, like, that nigga was about that catalog, songs on top of songs on top of songs. And the more I was in the studio, the more the nigga would pay. So that's where I wanted to spend all my time. So a lot of times they would be off doing whatever they doing, and I'd be with Fresh, or I'm with Jazzy, or I'm with somebody making the music. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get paid at the same time as them. Like, none of my shit was like theirs. So that's why I said in the beginning, like, I just had financially, I just had a totally different experience than them. That's why I think I lasted for so long, because a lot of the bullshit was going on over my head. Like, we would literally go to the mall and tear the motherfucker down. Every nigga come out of there with boxes and boxes of shit, right? It looked to me, at least at first, like everybody was fine. But it was also them trips when they was on the chilling circuit, which I wouldn't take because I'd be in the studio. So I don't know, but I know that it started getting bad because we started traveling a lot. Like, after we did his album, we really started doing a lot of touring. And that's when it was more kind of just stopping in different spots, being in the studio, as opposed to like how we would normally me and Fresh would be camped up in Atlanta, just record for weeks at a time. Then after Birdman's album came out, started traveling a lot. And that's when I started seeing like how the shit really was going for a lot of them niggas out there.
And you know, James, just so you can get the picture of this, Baby and them kind of road like you do. You know how you don't fly or nothing like that? Them dudes stay on that bus, man. They are on that bus 365 days a year.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
With bags of money. Them dudes don't give them no planes at all. So, you know, you got two of their biggest people, man. To me, and for the record, we seeing a lot of negative stuff about Cash Money. Now, it ain't negative, it's just the truth. But one thing I will say, Cash Money has had a strong hold on rap since the 90s.
Mm.
Even on up until, you know, you got the Drakes, because, you know, every time you look up and say, man, them niggas is done, Wayne is gone, Juvenile gone, it's somebody else that kind of pop up and take that mantle. So as far as them being, you know, black executives, man, I got to give them their props with that, because they keep the train moving. They keep the train moving for sure. But you think about how much bigger they would have been, because one thing about it, their level of production hasn't been the same since Fresh left. So you would think, if I'm going to pay anybody, I'm going to make sure this motherfucker Manny stay straight.
You would
and I'm going to make sure Wayne be cool. You know what I mean?
And that's the whole shit about it, because everybody that's in there and that's managing people, they they should think like that. You would think you would take a Tupac and sit his ass on the shelf somewhere and keep him out of harm's way for everything and anything. You would
Absolutely.
think, you know, all of these guys, you know, I don't know if they motherfuckers just befriending each other and just get too loose with it, but you got to think about what's making you money.
Real talk.
If you lose what's making you money, you ain't gonna make no money. And
real talk.
And it's a fucked up thing that, you know, why the industry have to take advantage of talent? You know what I'm saying? Why do they have to take advantage of it? I mean, if a motherfucker just came 100 and been 100 and stay 100, you would still have a lot of motherfuckers together right now today. But everything I've seen, from the Temptations all the way to the shit now, motherfuckers have a problem with money. You know, feel like they being cheated. If you know what you're signing and know what you're doing, it shouldn't be a problem.
But no, the biggest problem is the temptation of it's some kind of thought process, man. I think it's the devil, me, but it's some kind of thought process that people have that I don't know if it's just trying to take the quick, easy way out or the easy money or the fastest money or whatever, but whatever that little conversation is that people have with themselves, they lose a lot of ownership that way, right?
Right.
And when you're dealing with the type of people that we talking about, you got to have ownership. If you got ownership, they can't treat you like they treat everybody else.
Exactly.
So
Amen.
It's been a lot of talented people that for whatever reason have been in a position of leverage and they've given their ownership away. And that roll of the dice works negatively more than it works positively.
Right.
Well, you know what it is, T, and this is what I tell people, and this happens a lot, man, with especially us, because usually we come out of a situation, like you said, man, the world we living in poverty, right? When we first fall in these situations, we got talent, but we don't necessarily have nobody around. It's like one person I got to give props to is Charlemagne.
Yeah.
When he came to us and he asked us what was most important, we told him, you know, we wanted to keep owning our content. Mm-hmm. And he said he never had no intention on taking our content, man. And I think a lot of people, when they come out them situations, the first thing they think of is a check, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know what's behind that check. It ain't no such thing as free money. Somebody give you a check, the bigger that check is, the more they are going to take out of your stuff.
Absolutely.
And we get in a place right now, man, to where all content, remember it used to just be music that was valuable?
Yeah.
This particular interview that we doing, for example, right now, motherfuckers going to be looking at it 20 years from now, possibly.
Real talk.
20, 30 years from now. So now we in this thing to where you have to be really careful and cautious to all y'all out there. When you are jumping these situations and endeavors, don't just think about how much money you go give me up front. You can go earn your money. You can work for your money and make plenty of money. You know what I'm saying? You have to really look behind the things, behind the details, because a motherfucker's word ain't shit. It's whatever on that paper.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to look at cats that want to get it quick, get that quick money, opposed to being taught how to let your money grow. We don't understand that concept. Let your money grow. I got a little money, but I keep doing what I'm doing. My money gonna grow. We got to learn how to save. We ain't doing that. This one chick just told me about the Bitcoins. I'm getting into Bitcoins now. So, I mean, we don't know shit about that. Move, Lionel. Okay. That's
What's
the
up,
grandson, man.
That's right.
He on one.
Finally get